independent music in a mainstream world. Next on Carpe Diem. Hello and welcome to Carpe Diem. I'm Krista LaCosta. Independent music, often referred to as indie music, is music produced independently by artists, away from the major commercial record labels. These artists often find themselves not only recording music on their own, but also publishing it and using social media like Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube to get their music heard. Joining me today are Lauren Diamond and Brian Colburn, two independent artists whose passion for music helps them grow each day. First up is singer-songwriter Brian Colburn. Let's take a look at a performance of his song, Here We Are.
When I look into your eyes, I know things are gonna be okay. You know, a smile like that can wash all the rain away. My other half, my better half, my missing piece, and on a stressful day, a little sigh of relief. I'm still thankful that life turned out this way. Here we are and here we'll be, just the sun and the sand and the feel of a cooling breeze. Let's drift away, just you and me, and the memories that we made one summer day. Ooh yeah, 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 yeah. We could travel to New England where it's known to snow and May, to the sunniest beach in California on Christmas Day. We could try your luck in Vegas where the odds are none, but with you here by my side it's like I've already won. I'm here waiting, so just name the time and place. Here we are and here we'll be, just the sun and the sand and the feel of a cooling breeze. Let's drift away, just you and me, and the memories that we made one summer day.
Joining me now is Brian Colburn. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
So, Brian, that's a great song. Tell me about it.
That's one that I wrote in 2008 for one of my first CDs that I had done after my daughter was born. It was on my Time Marches On album. I'm actually going back and re-recording that song now with a full band for my next release that's going to have everything from piano, ukulele, everything else. It's going to take it a little more in the route that the song should be heard in.
So walk us through the process of how you put together new music.
Usually what it is I'll write a song on just guitar and vocals all the way through from start to finish. And what I'll do is I'll lay it out in a mixer myself because I do all my own recording. And slowly I'll start adding in bass. I have some friends that are extremely talented, Sean Faust, Chris Van Cleve, they're my friends who play keyboards, DC Slater, who's a guitarist. I'm blessed to work with many different musicians who will come in and record different parts for it, and I'll just build the song up. So it usually starts with just a guitar and vocals and builds from there.
And then from there, you publish it yourself and everything?
Yes, I work through independent publisher like CD Baby, who distributes it to sites like Amazon, iTunes, and all the different social media, all the different online music stores. So they basically handle the distribution for me, but I work through them.
You know, the industry has changed for artists. As an independent artist, how do you fit in?
It's very different than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. What it is now is everybody used to be fighting for one spot on a CD. If you had a mixed CD, and I'm only going back not too many years, 17, 18 songs fit on a CD.
Yeah.
Now you have an iPod that holds 10, 15, 20,000 songs, and artists all over the world are competing to be 1 in 20,000. The odds on being heard are a lot less than if you were 1 in 20 on a CD. So basically, you think of all the different independent musicians that are out there, how many songs are selling on iTunes in a given year. And that's the challenge that it's become for original artists now. How do you make your music stick out so that somebody wants to put your song at the top of the 10,000 playlist as opposed to somewhere that it might never get heard after the one time they buy it?
So would you consider music to be a disposable art form at this point?
Unfortunately, to some people, yes, it is, because unlike an art form like a painting that someone puts up on their wall, you have a certain amount of wall space. You put a painting on there, that's your wall space is complete. If you have an iPod with 10,000 songs, it's very easy to just keep adding and adding and adding and moving and depleting, you know, the songs from the iPod. So it almost becomes like a very disposable. What are you in the mood to listen to? You just switch things out on an iPod. Plus, with 10,000 songs, how much time does somebody have in a given day just to listen to music? So people see it like that, and unfortunately, I think that's one of the reasons where CD sales and music sales overall have declined, because people just realize, you know, why support an entire album from an artist? If there's one song I like, I'm just going to buy that, cherry pick, and move on, and that's kind of a challenge. So
how do you personally get your music heard and out there?
I'm playing a lot of live shows this year. You know, I know a lot of musicians are out there full-time on the road. I unfortunately don't have the funding or financial backing to do that, but I've played over 30 shows this year between New Jersey and New Hampshire. Regionally, I play my shows. So between building audiences that way, mailing lists that I do at the shows, keeping connected with people on social networking like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, Reverb Nation, all the different sites, and maintaining a presence on all of those sites, because the people that go to those sites, they're there all the time. So you need to maintain a presence at that site all the time, on top of recording, on top of playing live shows. So believe it or not, even for someone who does not do it full time, it is a full-time job.
And you fund all this yourself, correct?
Yes. Anytime, if you were to contact me on my website, on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere else, it's always me. I don't have somebody that runs my social networking site. Like a lot of the social Twitter pages are run by a PR firm for the artist.
Yeah.
If you contact me through any one of those mediums, you're always going to be talking to me. I'm the one who runs everything.
And you know, what genre would you consider your music to be? Because a lot of people see independent music and they consider indie music its own genre. But in reality, it's not, because you know, you could have an indie country artist, an indie pop artist. What would you say you are?
I describe my music as acoustic pop rock. Pop rock, unfortunately, now gets lumped in with so much. I have to add the word acoustic onto it so that people realize that it's not pop rock like a Lady Gaga or an LMAFO. It's more acoustic-based rock, along the lines of like a Matchbox 20. I'm more in line with like a Tom Petty in my opinion. That's the style that I'm very influenced by. But newer bands like that where it's more rock-based and the less focus on the word pop.
You mentioned a lot of celebrity names there. Is there one person or a group you would love to have a collaboration with?
Oh man, there's an endless number. I had the chance to open for Blues Traveler in 2009, and I'd be lying if I say that it wouldn't be a dream of mine to have John Popper come and play some harmonica on a track. Tom Petty, maybe some of the great guitarists of all time. If Eric Clapton were to decide to want to lay down some leads in my track, I probably would not be offended in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I want to thank you, Brian, for joining me today. And now let's take a look at his in-studio performance of Brand New Day.
Every day seems the same, from the first alarm ring until you crawl back in your bed. As the grind takes effect, you can safely place a bet that the complaining never ends. You need to let it go and then let it lie. never, 'cause forever's gonna be alright. Why don't we take it in stride, one step at a time? In the end, it's worth the wait to simply open your eyes to a brand new day. Just take a chance on life before it passes you by. Right now is never too late to simply open your eyes to a brand new day. Brand new day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Treat each moment in your life as one you're fighting to survive so you can live another day. Wish the week would finally end, but soon another one begins as you just wish your life away. You need to let it go and then let it lie. It's now or never, 'cause forever's gonna be alright. Why don't we take it in stride, one step at a time? In the end, it's worth the wait to simply open your eyes to a brand new day. Just take a chance on life before it passes you by. Right now is never too late to simply open your eyes to a brand new day. Brand new day. Brand new day. Oh, yeah.
If you would like more information about Brian's music or any of his upcoming shows, check out www.briancolburn.com. Up next is singer-songwriter Lauren Diamond, who still considers herself a diamond in the rough in the music industry. Here she is with her original song, We're the 99.
We're standing on the streets, got no money left and nothing here to eat, but we keep our heads held tight. We're paying all this cash, not knowing if we ever get that back. Keep working these long days and long nights. The sun's on the ground, he's got bullets in his chest from being so kicked around. But who really wins when our boys are not found? We're the 99 of them. Please help me, so I can be what I am. Please help me, why won't you do what you can? A mother with no voice, who was brought to this world with no home and no choice. They look at her like she is nothing. She hopes that she is something. These policies lock me in. If I don't have that money, then nobody's listening. But where are the people to make this stop happening? I promise promise reform that I'll never see. If I keep on working, my children can share with their family. Where's the justice to set us all free? Oh, I hope you see we're the 99 of them. Let's rise up, take a stand, so we can be all we can. We're the 99 of them. Please help me, please help me. Why won't you do all you can? We're the 99 of them. Please help me, please help me, so I can be what I am.
Here with me now is Lauren Diamond. Welcome, Lauren.
Hi.
So that's a pretty powerful song. You know, it appears on Occupy This Album, which is a compilation of different songs that demonstrate or support the Occupy Wall Street movement. Mm-hmm. How did you get involved?
Well, for starters, I was working with a producer, and his name is Paul Fry, and he works at Soundtrack Studio, and they brought me in for an audition, and it was for this band that they were putting together. I have no idea how they heard of me at all, still to this day, but they brought me in, and it wasn't the part that they were looking for the band. But I felt like, you know what, it didn't work for that, but maybe I like the vibe, I like the energy of this place and, you know, what they had going on, so I kept, you know, trying to text him and let him know when my next shows were, until he finally came to a show and he got to hear me, and it opened up doors. He thought of me because he, from the line down, he was, you know, they were putting this all together at the studio, and you know, they were like looking for a lyricist at first, and he thought of.
So they originally wanted you just to write a song?
Just to write it.
Okay.
And there's a lot of celebrities that were on the album. And he asked me, and I was like, absolutely. At first he said, do you know anything about the movement? And to be honest with you, I said, no, I don't. And I worked right by it, and I kind of went over to the site at Wall Street, and I started asking questions and learning more about it. And I didn't know if it was going to get chosen or anything at all. I was kind of, you know, people were in sleeping bags and people were really heartfelt for it. And I started looking online and I learned more and more about it as I went, and I wrote the song because I didn't want to just write it based on, you know, facts. I wanted to actually feel something for the event. So, and I stayed there until I felt emotional. And I wrote the song, gave it to them. I contacted musicians, friends of mine, and we literally put this together and knocked it out in a week, and we just polished it from there on. It was kind of not decided whether it was on or it wasn't on the album for a while. And I didn't think I was singing it, and to be honest, I didn't care if I was singing it. I just was like, I want to be a part of this.
So
you know,
how was it when you got the call and they told you, you're going to be singing the song, we want you as the vocals?
I honestly felt like relieved, and I felt like I could breathe because I didn't know. You know what I mean? They were like, you're on it. No, you're not. No, you're on it. No, you're not. And I'm on the same, you know, disc as Joan Baez, and I'm right next to Arlo Guthrie, and, you know, it's just like, it doesn't calculate. I'm just like, whoa, this is real, you know? So
let's step away from this album a little bit and just tell me, how did you get involved with music? Because I understand you're an independent artist and you put out a lot of your own music.
I've always written. Like, I've always been a writer, and I started doing acting from a young age. And my freshman year, I went to Rowan University, and I went for acting. And then I kind of gravitated into broadcasting, and I still had my singing, and I was going to venues on my off time during school, and at this point I didn't play an instrument, and I would stomp my feet and snap my fingers and just make up stuff just to get out and feel. And I learned guitar when I got into it at 18, and I became serious at at it at about 21.
Okay.
So I'm 30 now. So I have been playing since and just kind of been building and building.
And you're currently working on a new EP. And can you tell me about the process of making that album?
The process, honestly, I just, I have a bunch of recordings. I mean, and then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I have all of these pieces here, and now I have to slow down and take a step back objectively and put them together so I can have a polished piece. I go to a jam band night every Monday night. Richie Kanata hosts a jam band at the Bitter End, and it's like a really big venue, and I've gotten to meet a lot of musicians. So one of the musicians there, I pulled him aside and I said, you know, I was talking to him about this, and he's starting on a low budget with me, and we're just kind of starting small.
And one of the songs that you're working with is called Falling. Can you tell me about that song real quick?
Fallen. It's, I wrote it, I want to say almost 8 years ago, maybe 5. I don't even remember when I wrote it. And I wrote it of the idea of what I wanted love to be. And I don't think I've ever fallen in love at this point. It was just kind of like the concept of what I was looking for. And I was kind of, it just came out. Like I just wrote it.
Well, we actually have a performance of that song. So now let's take a look of a video for Lauren's song, Falling.
You're so sweet, darling. You take me places I never thought I'd be. I never thought I'd be. You give me goosebumps.
Well, Lauren, that was a great video of falling, and I want to thank you again for joining me here today.
Thank you.
So if you would like more information about Lauren's music, please visit www.facebook.com/Lauren Diamond Music. If you would like more information about Carpe Diem, please call us at 973-655-5158 or email us at the email address on your screen, carpediem@mail.montclair.edu. For Carpe Diem, I'm Crystal Acosta.